In the wake of the Death Star's destruction, the Empires created the Inferno Squad to ensure that Imperial secrets would remain safe. Their fierce loyalty to the Empire and exceptional skills in both aerial and ground combat set this squad apart from the rank-and-file troopers. Battlefront 2. It's an exclusive figure, only available at GameStop. Right there, Inferno Squad Agent. I don't know if this is the lead character in the new story, but I cannot wait to dive into story mode. Battlefront 2 is coming, but honestly, my excitement is now going to kind of trickle away because I got the figure I was looking for, this figure right here, and I think I'm going to open it. By the way, I think I made a verbal typo in the beginning. I said Empires. It was actually just singular. Empire. Hello, Galaxy. I'm Chris Pirillo, opening up a Star Wars figure. You know it's going to be a good day. This is another Lockergnome Daily Report, or TLDR, the Lockergnome Daily Report. You are more than welcome to ask questions during the duration of this broadcast, including questions like, hey, Chris, are you going to stream Battlefront 2 gameplay? I probably will, but over in the Star Wars Radar YouTube channel. That's also where you can find me on Twitter, at Star Wars Radar. We've got like 48,000 people who currently follow me there. I just got this like 2 days ago, yesterday, and I opened it up. Don't worry, I have another one that's going to say safe in the package. At least I think I set that one aside and brought this one up. Oh, okay, so we've got really a tight wrist there. Wow, that's a very tight wrist. You can hardly move it, but there, check this out. Look at the helmet there, painted red on the sides. That's epic. Inferno Squad for the win. Okay, we're going to try to get the gun in here, the pistol. Skycop 70, thank you for breaking the ice and the mold, starting with the first super chat there. I really do appreciate your support, of course, and I also appreciate even in Discord chat, if that's where you're at, although the super chat obviously came in by way of YouTube. If you want your comment to arrive, yes, but rise above the rest, that's what you can do. You can super chat me live on YouTube, and I'm going to set you here, he or she, not exactly sure what the sex of the pilot is. Move that out of the way. You can see that, right? Here, let me move it so you can stare at this figure for the duration of the broadcast. Although sometimes getting these super articulated figures to stand properly is a bit of a challenge. There we go. Okay, ready for battle. Except I don't know why the wrists are that way outright. So check out go.tagjag.com/free points if you are interested in how I earn gift cards, specifically to pick up things that I'm looking for. I bought like an icon pack on the Google Play Store last night, and I was disappointed like right away. I was like, yeah, no. And so I just jumped in, and I was able to press the refund button. No muss, no fuss. I was like, wow, that was easy. I also opted to set up the iPhone, listen to me, I'm holding on to the Pixel 2. I opted to set up the Pixel 2, beyond, of course, the Pixel XL, Pixel 2 XL that I've been using, and it was seamless. Setting up an old, well, at least a quote-unquote old phone to the new phone was easy. The migration wizard that Google built in just made it as simple as plugging one end of the USB-C cable into the Pixel XL 2, or 2XL, and the other one into the Pixel 2. And it was super simple, super clean, super effective. In fact, the Pixel 2 took a charge from the Pixel 2 XL, and it needed it. It was like almost dead. I had only begun to recharge it. But it brought over pretty much everything, pretty much all of my settings, all the apps, minus some of the login credentials, minus some of the spacing stuff. But yeah, it worked. In fact, I ended up taking this with me to the pumpkin patch. If you missed the Twitter feed a few minutes ago, I posted a couple of photos, one taken with the iPhone 8 Plus and the other one with the Pixel 2. And the Pixel 2 has the same camera as the Pixel 2 XL. But I am very impressed. This is a good camera. Specifically the Pixel 2 and the Pixel 2 XL. I'll get into some other issues here during the duration of the broadcast. I do have a couple of things in mind in terms of what I can talk about in Chris Pirillo videos this week, not to be confused with the videos I do in this channel. This is youtube.com/Lockergnome for the live broadcasts of the Lockergnome Daily Report. The other channel, youtube.com/Chris Pirillo, is usually just one topic or another. And I'm thinking about doing a topic on, let's talk about the Pixel 2 XL screen. Because now reports are suggesting that there's burn-in as early as a week in. And we don't know. This hasn't been widespread reports. I don't see any issues on my phone outright. Doesn't mean that it's not going to happen at some point in the future. But it just seems to be insult to injury. And it doesn't seem like the Google Pixel 2 XL can take a break. Can get a break. Or have a break. Give me a break. Okay, moving on. Feroz Yakub comes in with another super chat. Thank you for Diana's Pixel Fund. Oh! Now here's the neat thing. I don't know if you knew you could do this on Android. But this is what I'm going to be doing with Diana. I'm basically going to go over to the guest account and switch to guest, and then hand her the phone. See, it's easy. You can sign up multiple users on one phone. It's super simple. So I'm basically going to let her set this phone up as her own outright and use it as her phone here around the house just to see what she thinks. Let's get Diana a Pixel. Wow, we've got all sorts of super chats. Jerome Miller says Pixel 2 XL looks better on you than the iPhone. I don't disagree, even with the screen shortcomings. Even in trying to go to the resolution of the smaller one, like the Pixel 2, I like the Pixel 2 when it travels, like out and about. I like the small size, but at home, I like the Pixel 2 XL. So I really I don't want to give them up. I really don't want to give this up. So I won't have to give it up, of course, if y'all come in and do the Diana Pixel Fund, which apparently you're into. RCW0815 says, let's get Diana a Pixel. Thank you for the super chat. Well on our way. I've asked her if she'd be interested and have been showing her a few different things. Like, not, overwhelming her with anything, but just in explaining, like, look, this is what this does, and check this out, and you can do this and you can do that. So I'm going to now get her up and running with this Pixel 2, as I have been like firing on all cylinders today. It's not as easy as, here you go, have at it. But I specifically showed her some of the pictures that we took side by side. I'm like, well, check this out. I said, which one do you like more? Now, I'm very careful when I do this, even online, when I posted the pictures that I took this afternoon. It only took a handful. I didn't say which one was the Pixel and which one was the iPhone 8 Plus, even though I know that confirmation bias would make people believe, like, oh, I like the iPhone, I know what the iPhone photos look like, I like the iPhone photos automatically. Sometimes people jump to that conclusion, and it's not exactly fair. I just look at it like, what do my eyes go to? I'm like, well, I like the sharpness of this one, but I like the color of this one. And this is more a natural color versus this one. And I asked Diana, and she's like a fiend when it comes to like making sure her face looks right and well saturated. She didn't like the iPhone shot next to the Pixel 2 shot. Other things. She picked out other things, and she looked at other things, and she noticed other things. I think she likes the camera on this one a lot. And all I have to tell her is that, look, the portrait mode that you love is on the Pixel 2, not on your current iPhone. Wah, wah. Another super chat, a couple other super chats. Wow, y'all are doing wonderful for this tonight. $2 came in from Tanner Bennett Ryan. Or Benet Ryan, is it? Thank you so much. Coban4Max says, I think Chris likes Pixel 2 and won't answer any Apple questions. No, I'm just talking about what's been going on today and answering super chats. Ahsoka Tano asks, am I still alive? You should be. Man, that is, I think, something that Dave Filoni said you are. I don't think you're the wolf that's going to be showing up here, even though you may kind of be in the wolf pack. I do believe you are still alive, yes. I would hope. Stevens David Allen says, my Pixel 2 XL should be here this week. I'm very happy to have had the experience between the two Pixels, and like I said, I still feel the 2 XL will suit me well. If I do run into a burn-in issue and it becomes a problem, then Google says, I'm probably going to send it in and get an exchange. But the nice thing is, I can do the transfer over the cable, theoretically, and then just reset everything up that may need to get reset up. What was that? That was that. I got a notification saying someone mentioned my name. But, yeah, that's something that I'm very happy about, and it'd be very, very sad if we can't get Diane to this Pixel. But thank you. William Brown comes in. Man, you guys are doing more super chats tonight than like regular chats. That's awesome. If you have a question, feel free to ask. Felix Rodriguez comes in and says, "Are you going to use Android Pay?" Also, this is for the Diana Pixel Fund. Thank you. I am going to use Android Pay. You know, when I see a time to use it, I don't use it all that often. Like, you know, that kind of payment. Because even with Apple Pay, I run into so many problems at the terminal. Like, boop, no, you held it. Like, boop, no, you hold it. No, do this. No, boop, no, you wait. And boop. I'm like, forget it. Here's the card. Is it a chip? Oh, God, this is going to take another hour. So, yeah, not happy about how that is supposed to work or how it usually works. But the answer is absolutely yes. Dang, dude, dang. Okay, hang on. So Nate W. Thibodeau asks, magical unicorn pixel farts. Yes, amen. And Tanner Bennett Ryan, or Benet Ryan, yeah, I for sure, you know, you're asking about email. For email, I think use whatever you want to use. Honestly, don't even worry about, you know, what email you use. Just use whatever email. There are tons of companies that you can go to, not just one or the other. I mean, I've definitely, you know, been happy with a lot of them for sure. So yeah, just go with what you like. Go with what serves your needs outright. I don't have any specific recommendations though. Polygeekism says, found your page because of the Jibo review. A friend of mine works there. What is your favorite part of being a reviewer, social media influencer? That's hilarious. That really is funny. That is wow. Okay. A lot more people have watched the Jibo the Jibo thing for sure. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, Jibo, I'm glad brought you in. If anybody else has watched the Jibo experience to this point, you should, if you haven't, because it was a good video. I enjoyed doing the video. I think I may have like one or two more to do. So yeah, the whole idea though that you could effectively talk about the things that you love to talk about, and basically eke out an existence is an awesome thing. I love the fact that this happens. I didn't start out, you know, with the whole idea of doing it. Of course, the Jibo opportunity came to me, but the process is just constantly like changing, which is a challenge and a half. I mean, that's one of the reasons I'm grateful for sponsors when they're able to come in. The thinking though that goes behind it is just largely based upon me wanting to share the things that I want to talk about. Honestly, the feeling that I have is that I am able to share my perspectives, my insights on a regular basis, and do it in such a fashion that y'all pick up on it. So I'm grateful that you came in from the Jibo video, and it looks like you've gone in pretty far, because if you came from, was that Facebook? If you came in by way of Facebook and then, you know, have wound your way to this particular channel, man, it's just like that's just the top of the Chris Pirillo experience. SkyCop70 says, I'm afraid of taking my Pixel 2 XL out of the house until I get a screen cover and case. Yeah, I'm the same way. Not easy to find in stock. Exactly. And thank you for the Diana Pixel Fund. I think we're well underway. Although I don't know how many more people are going to be supporting us on go.tagjag.com/device fund. That's what that is. go.tagjag.com/device fund. So when you see, you know, someone drop their phone, do you get that feeling in the pit of your stomach that it's just like, oh God, it's so painful. It's so painful. Have you ever felt that way? I know I have. You know, it's definitely something that you don't want to go through. So I am much like yourself. I'm going to wait. I believe, according to tracking, that my cases are coming in from Google like within the next couple of days. So I'll definitely put that on in the interim. I definitely want something. And then, of course, I plan, whether or not this actually happens, plan on switching to the Moment covers when they come in, if only so I can add the lens adapters. the Moment lenses. Although they never really got back to me on the customer service thing. It was Friday. Hopefully I'll hear back from them tomorrow, but it's touch and go there with the support. Matt Tanucci asks, he comes in with a super chat. All right, I'll get in on this. Gotta help save Diana from iOS. Yeah, save Diana from iOS. I do have to, actually, I gotta write this down. Because I have a couple this is going to be a very busy week for Chris, and not just for video stuff. I've got a few moving parts happening, even today. I found, by the way, I tweeted this out. I found a little screen glitch, like a graphic did not work well. It was like misplaced on the screen, and so I tweeted it out to a couple people who work with Android and the Pixel. I was like, you guys kind of messed this up. Oh, hang on, I got to write this down. Because I got to ask Diana if she wants to do the Pixel Fund thing. Or her Pixel Fund. Let's see here. Diana, save Diana from Diana to Android. I haven't, okay, that's not going to be the full title. But then the other one, talk about Pixel to XL screen. I'm going to have to do a video on that because enough people are asking about it. So these are like, I have a content stack, like a list of, these are video topics that I'd like to dive a little further in on. Can't wait to see your review about the Moment lenses. I'm thinking about getting them for my Pixel 2 when it comes in. Have to wait a month for mine. More for Diana's Pixel Fund. Thank you, Feroz Yakub. That is very, very nice of you. Trust me, it is absolutely going in the right direction. And I'm kind of wanting her to do this. Like, in terms of sitting in front of you with this here, live, potentially on the Chris Pirillo channel, because I know, like, when we do live videos in Chris Pirillo, in me, we get, like, 600 viewers, versus here, we're lucky to hit 200. And that's just the way it goes with daily live videos. I'm not complaining at all. Raul Madera asks, will you be trying out the iPhone 10 in the store? Yes, that's probably how I'm going to try it. I'll be honest. I don't know if we're doing, because if we fund the Pixels, and if we fund the Pixel Book, and that's the next device to fund, then the next device would be the iPhone 10, and everything would go in the iPhone 10 coffers for the device fund. I don't know if we're going to take SuperChats for the iPhone 10. I've got to be careful about how that's managed. Very, very careful, because I don't think. And here's why. Because I don't think there's enough of you who would want me to try an iPhone 10. And I think that's this is something that I would put into a separate fund outright. Much like we have at go.tagjag.com/device fund. You're making it difficult to talk about anything else today. Not that I'm complaining. I'm not complaining. You all are set in the direction and tone of TLDR. I wanted to show you, not the pictures that I uploaded, because you got to take a look for it yourself. Someone who goes by the handle last updat says Instagram on iPhone 10 is a disaster. Okay, hang on just a second. Let me change the brightness a bit. I don't know how he got an iPhone 10, but look at this. You got to go and check my mentions. Look at this. So he opens up Instagram, and look at the top. It's just so nasty. That's it. It's a very short video, but like, now I know Instagram needs to be updated to support the notch, but a lot of those apps have got to be updated to support this stuff. And Mike Beasley, 2 days ago, and other people tweeted these to me. And there's a guy, you guys got to tell me about this. His name is Ray Toro, and he's been like tweeting me like tons of iOS jank videos. Ray Toro, do you know this guy? I got to check into it because like I think he's a musician, but he's like showing off slop. Check out my mentions. It's horrible. I mean, it's great that he's doing it there, but it's horrible in general. Wait, where's the Mike Beasley? Someone tagged me on the Mike Beasley stuff. Where is it? Now I can't find it? Really? Dude, I know someone did. Now I can't find it. Go to Mike Beasley's feed. Oh, there we go. Opaque or iPhoneist 11 did. Like, this is how they're doing breadcrumbs. Look how nasty. So I've zoomed in here, obviously. And I'm going to tilt the screen. Oh, look, it's blue! My screen is blue! Oh my god, it's horrible! White balance in this room. Okay, so there's the notch. It goes all the way across, obviously. But look at the breadcrumbs up here. And breadcrumbs, like, going back. So, like, search and settings are, like, right next to each other. Look how confusing that is. Look how disgusting that is. The settings down there and then search back there to go back. It's horrible. Mike points this out. Mike also points out that, and I love his quote, actually. It was really funny. He said, basically, did Apple hire a designer? Like, he just goes on a tear with screenshots. Like, this is just, it's horrible, and showing you that there's not a lot of trade-offs. Like, in terms, huge trade-offs, I guess, in terms of screen quality, but, like, in terms of usable screen real estate on the iPhone 10, you don't get that much more than you might get on an iPhone, let's say, 8. So, again, go looking through my mentions, and you'll see exactly what they're talking about. And hopefully you'll be able to catch up with everything that I was laying down there. But the iPhone 10 still looks like an absolute catastrophe. Still looks like a train wreck at a distance. Let me put it this way. I'm willing to put up with the screen problems, the screen shortcomings, let's face it, on the Pixel 2 XL, because the software experience, by and large, has been that much better on the Pixel 2 compared to the iPhone 8. Or, I'm sorry, the iPhone 8 Plus. Couple other super chats just came in during that little rant. Jason Wiltjer asks, do you still have the V30? I do. He says, I can't remember if it was a review unit or not. If so, are you selling it? No, not selling it. Can't sell it. But yeah, I do still have it. It's over there in my pile of Androids. There's going to be a reckoning in this room tonight. I'm going to have to clean a few things up for a few different reasons. And my Jibo is right over there. You can't see it, but he's sitting right over there. I have to be careful. I don't want to accidentally trigger him. Yeah, I will pull out the V30 when people are asking about the V30, and we can talk about the V30. William Brown asks, I've tried to move from iOS to Android 3 times and failed. Wow. Do you miss the ecosystem or the connection with social services? Message, iMessage, iCloud photo sharing. No, not really. In fact, I'd be just as inclined to... Let me put it this way. Right now, on the nightstand, I'm sleeping with... This sounds bad. I'm sleeping with the Pixel 2 XL. There's the title for the video, by the way. But it's sitting next to me on my nightstand. It's charging up in there. In fact, it's charging up right now. But the iPhone has now been relegated to second-class device in this room or in this house. But, every time I use it, it's just I'm reminded of why I stopped using it. I mean, it works. There's nothing inherently wrong with it. It's not horrific, like in the sense that things just don't work. It's just Android is less janky than iOS, which sounds like a great title for a video. Okay. Hang on. I gotta update it because what? Sure. Android is less janky than iOS. Okay. See, if I don't write these things down, I'll forget about them. So no, the answer is no, I don't miss the ecosystem at all. I had one friend message me, and I'm like, don't message me here. And I had to remind him, I'm like, no, don't use this messaging platform. Won't see it. Not going to happen. Oh, Discord scroll, did it lock up? All right, sorry about that. Sometimes it just stops responding for some reason. I think it's a Discord issue. But, if what's keeping you back is that ecosystem, you have to decide for yourself, why are you still with... If you've tried 3 times, that tells me more than anything. You've tried 3 times. I haven't tried once. And even on the first run, I waited. Like, some people said you should have done it last year. I'm like, I don't know, man. I may have been like, I don't know if I'm ready. I don't know if I got too much momentum. There's a lot of questions. But now I'm just like, I see the iPhone 10 and that's case closed. That's just, it's too much for me. And I'm willing to say, I still have, iMessage access, of course, on macOS. But in terms of, being able to feel that I'm tethered to the phone for it, no, I'm not. I'm not interested. And iPhoto share, the iCloud photo sharing, inconsequential. I don't even share photos, that way. So that's me. And I know other families, and they make it easier for the families, but Google Photos, unlimited photo storage. Hello, what do people usually complain about? Everyday Izzy comes in with another super chat. Says, hey Chris, I ran across a fantastic reminder to-do list app called Memorigi, and not sure if you'd find it useful. Well, Everyday Izzy, and thank you, by the way, for the Diana Pixel Fund. Diandroid. Oh! Dianadroid. Dianadroid? Is that what we call it? Hashtag Dianadroid? Because it kind of sounds like Android. Diandroid. Diandroid. I like that. Diandroid. Let's stick with that. Diandroid. I don't know if she's going to like it. Yeah, I've seen a lot of to-do list apps and reminders, but honestly, it's like when I'm in iOS, I'll use reminders because it's built in, it's synced there, it's just about everywhere I need to be. Well, now inside of Google, they've got Keep, and Keep, of course, has certainly evolved over time, and I like it for different reasons. Is it everything I need it to be? No. Is it everything I want it to be? Sure, maybe, but it works. So I'm not really interested in a lot of that third-party stuff if what I can get at the basic level covers my bases. Reminders is relatively seamless. I think the only things I've been missing, there's an app that I've used on iOS called Mail to Self, where you press the button and it's an extension, and it basically sends you, like, you're on a page. I need to email this page to myself. I press, share, and then it emails the URL to me. And then that way it's in my inbox, it's a reminder. Well, I can now also more easily save to inbox. So inbox is also your reminders. You can't necessarily set a reminder outright, but, certainly if I am using inbox to look at Gmail, which I do, I don't use Gmail even on Android. I don't use Gmail, the application, outright for a few different reasons. Michael comes in and says, for anything but the iPhone 10. Thank you for the super chat, Michael. Got it. Will do. Not a problem. And then Alan Redding comes in not long after. Didn't know if I had to scroll there. With the Diandroid Fund. That's awesome. And you're seeing it. You would be seeing the phone right here. And maybe we'll see her pop in here again. Why don't I talk about the Samsung devices? They have a lot of features built in. I haven't heard anything since I started watching a few months ago. I don't have any. I haven't had any for a while. Allegedly, I'm getting one, a Note 8. I am interested at a distance. I'm not necessarily interested in TouchWiz outright. The screen may very well be compelling. I've heard a lot of good things about the screen. And I know a lot of people like it for the screen. It's the software. And I know TouchWiz is getting better, but that I know of, the Note 8 isn't running Oreo. I'd rather run Oreo. I'd rather run something closer to what stock Android is. And that's what the Pixel provides me. So I would like to effectively, keep pushing forward to be able to get a Note 8 to review. I'd be happy to, more than happy to. And I'm kind of glad everything's kind of slowed down because I've got some catching up to do. I've got some videos I got to do. I got been effectively migrating operating systems and platforms. So there's been a lot going on. But that's the reason why you don't hear me talking about Samsung outright. I don't have it. APB asks or says, thoughts on the $200 price reduction of the Essential phone. So I am cautiously optimistic about the Essential phone. I still have yet to use the 360 video. In fact, one of the reasons I'm wanting to clean up in here is so I could record a 360 video for y'all to watch. I don't know what the topic's going to be about, but it'll probably be a short topic, and then you can scroll around, you could look around, you could look around Chris's room, like, whoa, it'd be pretty cool. But as I said, I kind of got to get things cleaned up. That's coming. And I think the price drop is just market realities. It's difficult to make a good experience, and when you've got such stiff competition, not just with phones that for all intents and purposes are leading phones like the devices from Samsung, but then you got other manufacturers who've been at it for a while like LG, and then you've got Huawei competing, well, not so much in the domestic market, but you have all these competitors, and so starting up from scratch, even when you've got the name recognition behind you, is still an uphill battle. And honestly, it just did not favor very well with reviews. So reviewers did not have a good time with the Essential phone. I'm holding off on my review of the Essential phone outright, hoping that, they'll be rolling out the Oreo beta update soon. I'll install that. Some other software fixes to address some other shortcomings in the device. But that was a pretty close to stock Android experience. The camera's not as outstanding as I've seen on the Pixel, so it would be kind of like, well, I like the Android kind of experience, and it's clean, and I like the fact that it feels very nice to hold on to in the hand, but at the same time, the camera. What would move me to buy a new iPhone? Everybody, remember what was that one feature? If you know me at all, the answer was camera. Mad Bear asks, any issues with Oreo? I mean, it's an 8.0 release, or it's a 0.0 release. I've run into a few snags that I have documented. I hope they get addressed. There's some snags that I think are independent of Oreo that I wish would get addressed. I'm also documenting them. Like the camera app, I think, and even the Photos app, it's not fully baked. I mean, there's still a little jank, like when zooming around, and there's a delay in terms of touch responsiveness. It needs to be looked at by somebody. I don't know who needs to look at it, but that's a pretty damn big deal. So we got another super chat. Turning back to super chats. Riku Kujala, says, for Diana's Pixel, testing super chat for the first time. Happy to have done that for you. It's very nice to have you here, as well as supporting the community. Jeffrey asks, have you had a chance to use Tasker app for automation? I have not. Don't know if I will. Tonutch says, at $4.99, it's not a bad deal. I've used one, and I'm not personally a fan of the notch. Yeah, see, you gotta also look past its shortcomings. I completely forgot about that. To me, though, it's all about that software. It's the optimization of the software that says everything. Emer Nail asks, the camera quality, or says, camera quality on mobile phones have become so good that differences between phones have become ever so indistinguishable to the untrained eye. To a certain degree. Yes, but there are some definite differences, between, different devices. And unfortunately, using one phone that's perfect in every possible situation is impossible. As we were out to get Jedi's pumpkin, we went to a pumpkin patch. First time in my life I ever went to a pumpkin patch. And the thing about that was, it was really funny. We drove past the Twin Peaks Diner. That's where our pumpkin patch was, out there. And I took a picture. But I took the picture facing into the sun. Now, what you need to understand about that is normally that would all the foreground details would have just been blown out. Oh, I gotta switch users again. Let me go back into Chris. Switching to Chris. Well, thank you very much. Let's do this. I'll pull it up. Oh, wait, did I delete it? Oops, is trash. Let me pull it out. So I took 2 photos, and I kept one of them. Actually, I took 3 photos. One was a little color casted in a bad way. But look, so this is what I'm saying here. See, responsiveness isn't as good as it could be. So there's the sun back there, and I'm sorry if the details are a little blown out. Let me turn down the brightness a bit. Oops. Maybe you'll see it now. So you can see all the foreground details, at least up close and in person. Look at my Twitter feed, because I posted it there. But you can see all the foreground details, but you could also see that the sun was right behind it. I mean, that would have been a near impossible shot to take. But I was really impressed. I used the Pixel camera. Didn't have time to use either one of them, or both of them, I should say. But that was very impressive to me. And that, to me, you can see by the untrained eye. Like, if you take a shot into a bright light and all those foreground details are gone, you could absolutely see it. Dan Bittner comes in. Thoughts on Tweetbot? Worth the money? It is now. Yeah, on iOS, it's absolutely a go-to Twitter client. I do use it. They just issued an update yesterday that makes it easier or cleaner to scroll, a feature that I needed 2 years ago. So I'm like, why wasn't this looked at 2 years ago? Can you share your secret with other developers? But now, smooth scrolling. I mean, it's relatively jank free, if not completely jank free. And I haven't had a scroll like this in so long, which is disappointing. Like, it's one app isn't enough to keep me on a platform at all. Issa Lalu asks, is it easy to stay away from Apple ecosystem now that you switched to the Pixel 2 XL? Why is this a concern for everybody? No, it's not. It's easy, but yes, it's difficult at the same time. It just depends on what it is that you're trying to do. It's such a nebulous question. VT Productions PC, I apologize, comes in at a super chat, or with a super chat, saying, I'm just popping in to leave a Diana Pixel Fund. Then watch it when I get home, can't while I'm at work. Wishing everyone well. Hope Diana's fund happens. I do too. Y'all are making it happen pretty easily. When she finds out, I'm like, well, Diana, can you do it? Do you think you could switch? I think she would get used to it. I think she would see, it must be a certain time, because my pixel's already gone red for the screen. I think she'd have largely a good time with this. I don't think it would be bad. I don't think it would be horrible for her. And I'd be fine in her moving over to it as well. But it's different. I mean, like I said, I've definitely seen some things that I think they work fantastically better on the iPhone in terms of smooth experience compared to Android. But that's where I want to say, hey, pay attention to, pay attention to these apps, folks, because you don't have a lot of polish here. Tidbit says, I bought Phoenix. Oh, you bought all those things? You bought 5 to 6K range. Oh my God. Hang on. Wow, you bought them all. See, I didn't get Phoenix. I went right with the Flamingo. Wait, what does that mean? The screen went red, Chris says. Oh, the screen went red. That's night mode, night shift, or whatever the hell they call it. What is it called? Night light. They call it night light. And the nice thing is, on night light, you can do this on Android. You can't on iOS. I can turn, I don't know if you can see the temperature there. Maybe a little too bright yet. But I can turn up the intensity or down, dial it up or down. Yeah, you can kind of see. So I can make it super red or not a lot red. I mean, you can change it. You can change the intensity of the eliminating the blue light, which I do anyway with my my prescription lenses, which is quite nice. Yeah, no, they all, I mean, anything with, I think, Android Oreo could feasibly support it. I think it's an Android Oreo thing. Pixel 2 has a night mode based time of day. Yeah, and you can toggle it. There are other phones that certainly have it too. It's not just a Pixel thing. You can schedule it, so you can turn it on at a custom time or turn it on from sunset to sunrise. So it must be sunset. So let me look at my weather app, and I can't tell if it's sunset exactly. 5:58 p.m. Yeah, so the sun just set. Okay. Now I'm in nightlight mode. It's very, very nice. Michael says, most likely going to try to get my 2XL in store tomorrow. Good luck. Hopefully they have them in stock. Although, you'd be surprised. You never know, depending on which store you go to, what you're going to get, naturally. I agree, dude. Discord on iOS constantly refreshes. Yes, it's maddening, and of course the notifications are horrible. Yes, they are. That's what I'm saying. I can't use Notification Center on iOS. I feel like we've been having the same conversation sometimes, but this is what's fresh in everybody's minds. Y'all are driving the conversation, not me, really. Runrig fan asks in YouTube chat, does iOS have eye comfort as seen in Huawei? It makes the whites yellow, for example, in early morning. Maybe not eye comfort outright, and I think LG's kind of got something like that. Night light would be it. You just turn it on if you want. So that's all you need to do. Igor Goldstein says can't beat the screen on the S8. I've heard about that. I've heard they've got great screens. I mean, Samsung's definitely doing very well with their screens. I don't necessarily know that is everything to me. Yes, I know I stare at the screen, but if I'm staring at the screen and it's a bad software experience, I'm like, eh. Or if it's not as good a software experience as I'd like it to be, I'm like, eh. So Samsung, honestly, they get docked a few points by being that far behind with Oreo. And I know they're a big company. They got a lot of things to consider. But I'd like to see a Note 8 with Oreo. And I'd like to see that, TouchWiz performs as well as some people have suggested it does. Moreover, you got to remember with a lot of Android devices, and the Pixel, apparently, the first-gen Pixel was different. First-gen devices never slowed down. This is what people reported. They never saw a slowdown in the pixels. And apparently Android devices can slow down over time. So people have also said months in with the Note 8 that they're not seeing a typical slowdown. I don't know why these things slow down. I don't know what the Pixel does differently. But I'm like, I don't want my apps to slow down. That's for sure. And then, to have to basically reset and restore from backup every time like that happens. Like, I used to do that with Windows. That doesn't sound like a nice proposition. So if I'm able to survive a year without feeling, and this is what people said about the first-gen Pixel, that the Pixel 2s don't slow down or didn't slow down, then I'll be happy. Because then I'll be ready to move on to, potentially, the next Pixel. Unless someone else comes out with a cleaner Android experience. What? Hang on. I didn't realize I had my notifications on. Or my where's the volume? Where? Oh, you got like 3 volume toggles. I think the slowdowns are all the cache in the system software for TouchWiz, potentially. And I think there's a way. Isn't there a way like you can clear out the caches too? I don't even know if you want to mess with that. I'm a big fan of letting the operating system do what it needs to do, and then just live life. I got tired of that. I don't want to mess with reinstalling Windows. I'm good. I've now grown so old that I don't want to be doing that and wasting my life. SkyCop70 says, for the Jedi phone fund, Jedi has a couple of phones, actually. She's got the one that came with her little kitchenette, the toy phone, and then a Ninjago lenticular toy phone. It's pretty neat. It is pretty neat. Someone says, I don't like the TouchWiz launcher, but I've been happy with Action launchers. It's not been perfect. In fact, I ran into a bug that I reported to the developer on Twitter. I explained it to him. I said, I don't know what happened, but this is what's going on. I had to redo this. And he's like, oh, he figured it out. He said, that's a pretty bad bug. I'm like, I didn't mean to stumble upon it, but yeah, it was a pretty bad bug. But yeah, it was really neat to get a developer to acknowledge and see that it was an issue, and then potentially be moving to fix it outright. So the Pixel 2 XL is the keeper. That I don't know, Liz. I really don't. I'm vacillating. I haven't honestly spent a lot of time with it today. I thought I grabbed the 2 XL when I grabbed the 2, and I'm like, fine, I'll just use the 2. Same camera, click, and I enjoyed taking it with me. I like it. I like the 2 a lot, but I just feel that it would not be what I would want in a phone. After getting used to a big screen and going to a small screen, it's not as much. Well, to me, in my opinion, it's just not as much fun. I like getting as much information on the screen as I possibly can. But that's how I feel right now. I know people have complained about the screen, and the screen's a huge issue with stuff. But I see other potential issues that would become major shortcomings. That may not be shortcomings for anybody else. Wait, hang on just a second. Okay. It's still at 100%? Dang, I haven't charged it since leaving the car. I guess I haven't had a lot of heavy use with it. I don't have all my accounts connected to it either. But okay, I can delete that. Anyway, just FYI, I don't know. I genuinely don't know. When I compare them side by side, I tend to float to the Pixel 2 XL's size. Using it outright, I mean, it looks big enough that I would be able to handle it. I think it's very comfortable in the hand, the 2 over the 2 XL. But the problem I'm running into now is, well, what if it gets burn-in? And then I have to replace it down the line. Is that going to be more of an inconvenience than what I've got set up here? And now that I was able to port just about everything over, I mean, does this work well enough? Yeah, it might. Not exactly perfect, but it may do the trick. It may end up being the thing that I'm able to. I just have to use it more. I have to get into using it a lot more before I know, yes, this is fine, versus no, I really feel I need to go with something else. I don't have an answer to that question yet. What's the deal with Fucho the Clown? I can't tell you. Although Diandroid did get a hashtag with a corn emoji. Thank you, Fucho the Clown. If you don't understand why that whole Fucho thing is funny and why I say Fucho, you need to tune into the podcast recording that we do on Twitch, or we try to do on Twitch, regularly enough. Should I do a podcast today? What do you think? Podcast? Today? We'll do it on twitch.tv/Chris Pirillo. We could. It's possible to do. Trisram asks, what phone is that you're using? This is the 2. Well, I'm not really using it, but this is the 2, not the 2 XL. And it's nice. I mean, there's zero doubt in my mind. It's a clean phone. It's a clean experience. It's fast. It's snappy. Does a lot of what I might want to do. I really like the fact that the Action Launcher allows for different configurations of different icon sizes and mappings and distance, and also various ways to get to your data, like being able to get my schedule at a glance but slide it away, but not necessarily have that on a second page. I have a feeling that's going to go onto a second page though, outright, and I may end up going back to the Pixel launcher. I may try it, but I honestly I like the feel. I like the way this just works. And I may end up going to it because of all the mounting screen issues with the 2 XL, and I may end up sending it back. I don't know. There's so many things that could happen at this point. So many things. It's just getting in and diving in and using it and knowing, does this work? Do I want to use this as my go-to? Is this one going to be fine? Is this one going to give me everything I possibly need? And that's what I simply don't have an answer to that question. And I won't for a while. I know everyone keeps asking that, but it's for real. Podcast? All right, we'll do the podcast then. Twitch.tv/Chris Pirillo. Lawn chair launcher got updated again today. Oh, really? That's cool. I haven't downloaded. Honestly, after I got used to Action Launcher, I'm like, I think I like this one. I really like what it has to offer over the stock Google experience for a few different reasons. I mean, there's the various shortcuts. But now I may go back to Pixel Launcher because Google updated their app such that you can now customize the bar at the bottom. The thing that I don't like about the Pixel Launcher is that you got that dang caret that you can't get rid of, like the drawer separator, because I don't want to keep apps on my screen. I know some people want to keep apps there, but I don't. I want a clean screen. I even took off the wallpaper. Not that necessarily needed to outright. It's a lot better a single-handed operation. I can tell you that much right now. Set wallpaper, home screen, and lock screen. Let's go just home screen. And there we go. Single-handed operation. That's the one thing I got to tell you I like a lot. But I don't know. I'm just so used to the bigger iPhone. This screen, right? This big screen compared to this smaller screen. And I mean, it's not by much, but still, I mean, I feel I would miss certain things. Personally, miss certain things, and I don't want to miss those things. Yap App says, do we have an ETA for Oreo 8.1? We do not. EM asks, Chris Essential or Pixel Buddy? I don't know. It's up to you. As I sip some of my Ticino. Drunken Old Man says, it's nice that you can customize your launchers. It is. I really like the fact that you can try a different launcher, go with a different launcher. No, I don't want Google Assistant. And for the most part, do I need to? Yeah, I may need to remap my fingers. It's fast when you get the right part of your finger on the sensor. I don't really have any obscure needs. Like this is, to me, it's a productivity tool. Like I want to get things done on it, and so that to me is also why I feel there's a little jank as that slid out, but it's not awesome. Comments, published comments, held for review. I just like being able to. Oh, no held for reviews. Nice. I just like the fact that I can see more on a bigger screen. I like that. Not that I have to scroll as much, but it's all those screen issues that may drive me mad. I don't have an answer to the question. I wish I knew. Speeding Cheetah says, I would think that Google's own Pixel launcher would be best optimized for their own phone versus a third-party launcher. I don't know the answer to that question. I don't think... I mean, I know they look for optimization, but you almost have to use it the way they want you to use it in order to enjoy it. And that's really something that, I feel is going to be different for everybody. There are things that I think I could mitigate if I did it Google's way, and so I may end up having to do it Google's way. I may end up having to do like a row of icons at the bottom of the screen in order to do it Google's way. 5 icons across, and then effectively call it a day. It's nice to be able to do something like that. So over the next week or so, if I can go that far, I want a better side-by-side between the two before I reach a breaking point of which one am I going to go with. Now, if I decide that I'm going to stick with the Pixel 2, then Diana would, of course, get the Pixel 2 XL. You understand how that would work? So that's exactly how that that would be how it would go, how that would go outright. So it's not that I'd get her the same one. But, the more I hold on to and the more I look at it, the 2 stands out well when you're not comparing it, like, in terms of what you can get on the screen at one time to a Pixel 2 XL. That's where it gets a little fuzzy for me. But we'll see. What if Diana says she wants a 2XL and you want the 2XL? I said, well, you can only have one. And that is, I think, going to come down, for me, it's going to come down to which one am I going with. And then she would get the other one. I don't know. There's a lot of what ifs and maybes that I just don't have an answer to at all. But there's so many choices in the marketplace. This is really, I can tell you this. It is absolutely dominated, as much as the conversation's been dominated by the Pixel Talk here today, as well as the Super Chats. I can tell you that it's dominated my life too. Getting everything set up the way I like it, or at least enough, and enjoying it, and then having to do it again on a second phone is just kind of like, oh man, how the hell am I going to do this? So hang on, let me see here. If I go, no, choose region. Really? That's crazy. Add your first card. Stow card backup. Log in to say restore back. Sign in with Google. Okay, let me see if this worked. Did it work? There we go. So like it's the same kind of experience here, like as the bigger phone. It's just it's a smaller screen, right? But then theoretically you'd be able to push pixels in a better capacity than the bigger screen. But I've seen the same kind of jank on the smaller screen as the bigger one. Let me open up the iOS equivalent. So it's a slightly bigger screen, obviously. Can you see it chunking? Can you see that chunk? Even and after it's cached, it's fine, but it just chunks along. Oh, it's so bad. That's just one app, though. That's not every app, obviously, but that is just one app. Get her the iPhone 10. Mad Barrett, that is definitely not going to happen. Yasser says, Diana is not going to switch, just my prediction. Like I said, I think the tipping point for her is the camera. I really do. I think the camera is going to be it. No doubt in my mind, and little else. Because, I think about her use case and how she uses it, and know full well what she would use. There are certain issues in angle, looking at it from an angle, this particular screen, but the 2 does not suffer, quote unquote, suffer from the same problems as does the 2XL. It's just getting everything. Man, I just set everything up. I hate having to manage between many phones. How do people do this for a living? Like, do this phone and that phone. They got to have simpler ways of getting this stuff set up. I certainly don't. Not yet. Skycop70 said the article I read today with the burn-in or shadowing. Oh yeah, there's Jedi. This picture was taken. You can't maybe see it as well as I can, or Discord can. But let me see here. This was taken with Jedi on the move, bright light, Nexus 2. Nexus 2. Dang it, I keep calling this thing a Nexus. It's not a Nexus, it's a Pixel. The Pixel 2 phone, this phone right here. Snap this shot. And this would be one like, hey, stay still, so I can get a shot. But it was impressive. Like, very, very, very impressive. Very impressive. Said the burn-in or shadowing occurred when the screen was left on for a week straight. Well, that's just crazy. Why would you do that? I would not recommend doing that. I don't think anybody would. Michael says, let's be honest. You just don't want to deal with the out of storage anymore. That's what I'm saying. I'm done. I'm tired of, oh man. That's an expensive proposition. More than anything. Because it's been kind of nutty when it comes time to manage Diana's storage. Because she doesn't necessarily... She takes 47 photos and keeps all of them. Of one thing. I'm like, why do you do that? It drives me up the wall. But I'm an organizer that way. Raul Madera says an article just came out that Google was actively investigating reports of Pixel 2 XL burn-in. Juiciest of Jay says, I can confirm firsthand the Pixel 2 also has image retention. Yeah, but after what? How can you see the image retention? In what? What are you comparing it to? A good way of checking burn-in, not that I would recommend downloading any kind of, burn-in things, like anti-burn-in things for your device. I use... Do I have it on here? Maybe. Let me go here. Oh, what was that? Delete. What the heck those were? I hate when, random photos just... not just random, but, things that I thought I cleared out did not get cleared out. Wait a minute. Oh, that was trash. That's why. So I've got a red image on the phone, and that's a great way of telling. And I can tell you, there's like far fewer issues on this screen than the other one. And then of course there's a black image that you can go full screen on to detect burn-in. And I haven't had any issues on either one of them. If anything, maybe you see a little bit of the banding happening on the 2XL screen with the red image up, but not outright with this. Yeah, Reginald says just use something that'll display white and full screen. White, red, black, any one of those solid colors. But yeah, but Pixel 2 screen burn-in, I mean, burn-in's going to happen. You're talking about OLED screens, and potentially even image retention is going to happen. These are problems with OLED. There's certain things that can be done to mitigate it in software, but not everything can fix it in software. In fact, Nick Coy One Channel says software has to be written to counteract burn-in for navbar, like ability to hide it when in apps. So that's the thing, is they can effectively fix it. The question is, will they? But it's up to them. If they can, go far enough to address it so that it's certainly less than an issue. Vicky Gillen says, I just don't think I can go back to Android again. See, I'm feeling like there's no way I think I can go back to iOS again. That's how I feel even after using it for 2 days. I'm like, yeah, this will work very well. This is very clean. I like it. EM just created an account on Discord. Cool. Now, if you are either a patron and or you are a sub of mine on Twitch, then you'll be able to join. You should be able to see not just an invite, but basically the link shows up. I described it on twitch.tv/Chris Pirillo. It'll show up in your integrations when you're an active sub. So never noticed until today because of all the P2 XL display issues. That looks, I mean, you can't really tell because of image compression, but it looks fine. Play some video and see if it's still there. Really? I guess I haven't seen it. I've played a lot of video on the 2XL. I like it on the 2XL for sure. Maybe I like the aspect ratio a little more though on the 2 over the 2XL. Performance-wise though, they pretty much go neck and neck for the most part. I mean, I'm sure some games and testing games would definitely suggest the 2 to be a better performer outright. Antoine Hanuch asks, "Hey Chris, can you tell me if you prefer the Pixel 1 or first or second gen aesthetically?" Do I prefer it aesthetically? I guess they're the same to me. I don't see too much of a difference between the two. And I know some people say, "What? How can you not see the difference?" Let me put it this way. One of the things that's not detracting me from looking seriously at using the 2 over the 2XL, I don't even care about the chins and the foreheads. It's like, could they have done that differently? Yeah. Should they have? Possibly. I tell you, if they would have, it would be a lot easier to use the 2 over the 2XL, but then you're talking about aspect ratios and all that other stuff. I'm like, I don't know. It all comes down to your eyes, man. Even Reginald Bowie says, yes, even on OLED TVs. That's for sure. Steven Stella says, who wants to spend $1,000 on a phone with bad software? Not me. That's why I'm kind of like, yeah, this iPhone thing, they had their time. Time to move on. Sharp makes an iPhone, or makes a phone, with a 4.9 inch, 120 hertz. Whoa. See, that's what I want. That's what would, man, you want to talk about what would Chris want in the next gen Pixel? 120 hertz. Why? Daydream. That's why. That's why. I'm just telling you. I would absolutely be in. That would be awesome. Sorry about that little tooltip there. But that's exciting. That's very, very, very exciting. Very, very, very exciting. 120 hertz, man. All I need is 90 frames per second, and I'm good on VR. All I need is a few more minutes because we're going to wind down. Thank you, everybody, for your super chats today. I do appreciate it. I realize that the topic has been dominated by one particular thing, although this is apparently a thing everyone wants to talk about. Fine, we'll talk about it. Y120, 240 is where it's at. I agree. Only in Japan. Well, trust me, it'll be everywhere at some point in the future. The question is who's going to win? Is Apple going to release the ProMotion on an iPhone? Or is Google going to do it? Or is an Android OEM going to do it? I don't know. Don't have an answer to the question. But thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I am definitely going to be moving on and doing, I guess the podcast is what everybody's asked for, happy to do it. And I hope you don't mind spending another half hour with me. I'll be at twitch.tv/Chris Pirillo, recording the podcast. While you're there, you can follow me. You can also you sub to me on Twitch. Easy to do. Click, boom, done. And then you could, of course, then also pop over to patreon.com/Chris Pirillo and become a patron. Either of those places, you would get access to Discord chat, which you see behind me. It's open 24/7. Even when I'm not doing a video, these people are geeking out. So there's plenty more to talk about. Trust me. I could stay here all night, but I have things I gotta do. Trust me, I have more than a few things I gotta do. But thank you once again for tuning in. Thank you for all the support. Super chats were amazing, as was everybody. Thank you, patrons and subs. Thank you, everybody else. I love you. I appreciate you. At this point, I'm going to do the podcast now over in the other place and leave you to your own devices. May the Force be with you.